Wow. February. Mid-February, we get this crazy snowstorm. I don't know what happened in your location, but here we got 3 or 4 inches over Tuesday. And then, over Tuesday night into Wednesday. It snowed into Wednesday early afternoon, and then it kind of stopped. So the continued prediction of another few inches here didn't really happen. So we just got the snow over Tuesday night into Wednesday. Right now I'm on Dublin, which is one of the main east-west roads in the city, and there is snow. There's not really any spot where the roads are completely clear. This left lane over here is mostly clear. There's still some, whatever on the ground. It's not completely clear. There's still a layer of stuff on it. The roads have been plowed for sure. At least the main roads. Your side streets, I'm not sure yet. But like I saw the weather video Wednesday morning, and it's the local news channels, and the guy's on there like, the roads are pretty bad, but then again, we all came into work, so we do it for you guys. And so I realized there's still a whole bunch of people who have to drive on the roads regardless. So the roads are still good enough to do that. Just drive slow. Be more careful than you would. Pay more attention than you would. Start braking sooner than you would, and you'll be fine. Nevertheless, there is always an accident. Whenever we get snow, even a little bit of snow, not even enough to stick to the roads, there's an accident. It starts raining a bit. Somebody just hits somebody or runs over, or the car breaks down. I don't know what it is about the weather that just makes people's cars break down, or they're hitting people. So Austin Bluffs in Dublin is apparently having some problems with the lights. It appears our Dublin pass direction is just red. Actually, everybody might be red. So we're just having to treat this like a stop sign now because the light's broken. So we'll wait for that guy to go, and then we will head on our way. Ooh, this is a bit scary. Oh, now it's green. Oh, so now it looks just like I'm the jackass that just ran a red light. Thanks. Was everybody just effing around? Were they all just running reds just for the fun of it, and I just got roped into it? I thought that light has been broken before. It's been broken twice. That intersection has been broken twice. And it's been during the winter. Both times. So that's not on me. So this is in the shape of a heart, in case, it was. I made these chocolate chip heart-shaped pancakes. And they're so good. It's a great meal on the go, coffee and pancakes. So right now, I'm not even doing anything work-related. Like, I'm dressed up, but I'm not actually. I just felt like getting dressed up today. And the suit, actually keeps it warm. You know how there's an egg shortage, or they say there is, or eggs are just expensive. And now there's a chicken shortage, in case you weren't aware, because everybody wants chickens. And so all the places, all the feed supply, animal supply stores are running out of chickens within an hour of opening up the store, because people just go and they get them. So they're selling out of chickens because everybody's got the idea of, I want to get chickens because I want my eggs, and I want to, and if it's easy, which it is, but keep in mind, you have to clean up all their poop, and they poop a lot, and they poop everywhere. They're not indoor animals. You keep them outside, or you're going to have to clean their poop out. Chicken poop is the worst smelling poop on the face of the planet. You walk down one of the, Garden of the Gods trails, or any of the hiking trails in Colorado Springs that has a horse path, and you smell, or you see it. There'll just be piles of horse poop on the path because people walk their horses through. And that is completely tolerable compared to chicken poop. It's just, oh, guys. And some of it's fine. Some of it's fine. But when they make that stinky, kind of liquidy poop that, you know, crusts when it dries up, but if you poke it or try to remove it, broom it, you know, scrape it off, it just smears. Oh, it's nasty smelling. Anyway, the roads are pretty clear on Powers right now. The 3 lanes are clear. There's a little bit of snow here and there and ice or whatever, but all in all, these roads are very clear and easy to drive on. And, you know, this is Powers, so this is, you know, basically the highway on the east side of the city. There's a little bit more ice and snow up here once we get close to the stoplight, so I'm still slowing down because, you know, I've never been in an accident in all of my... That's not true. Let me tell you about my accidents, and then you judge and tell me, like, hey, Kevin, have you ever been in an accident? Because I'm going to plead my case here. It was a month after I got my first car, and it was in a January, and I was driving home from work, and the car spun out as I was driving over a bridge. It was a smaller bridge, but and medians, and you know, so I didn't fly off or anything. But I lost control of the car while I was braking, going around a curve, and I was going 25 miles an hour. I was going 25 miles an hour on a 40 in a 40 lane, and I still spun out, and I, you know, hit the median or the side. I hit something that, you know, just the car spun a few times. There was some dude that was driving like a quarter mile behind me who slowed up to me, and he's like, "Hey, are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I think everything's good. I just, you know, fortunately I didn't hit anybody." So that was my claim to fame there. I didn't have to file a claim. You know, the damage was very, you know, minimal, enough. I was in a parking lot, and this was a year or so ago. We were coming out of a restaurant, and I backed into somebody as she was backing into me, and the damage, again, was pretty minimal. I did pay somebody to pull out a bump in my in the back of my car. Somebody rear-ended me on I-25 as we came to just stop-and-go traffic at one point, and this lady in a pickup truck wasn't paying attention. She was on the phone with her mom, and so she rear-ended me. She wasn't going awfully fast. I think she had slowed down, but she just hadn't figured it out quickly enough and slowed quickly enough, so she still hit me. It totaled the car. Insurance said, "No, you're totaled." I said, I drove it here. But it was still, the back was crumpled enough that the damage was, yeah, they totaled it. So I got a new car because somebody hit me. And that's it. That's the only accidents that I've been in. And I plan to keep it that way. They've been very minimal, aside from getting the car totaled, which wasn't my fault. But I've never done that intersection thing where you hit somebody or they hit you. I've been fortunate enough to avoid that. Another reason to drive slower and specifically keep distance between you and the person in front of you, especially during the winter, is because they'll kick rocks up and they'll kick ice chunks up and all these little gravel from the road that gets mixed in with the snow. And when you're driving down, especially Powers or the highway where you're able to pick up some speed, those rocks will kick up. And it doesn't have to be a truck that you're driving behind. It could be a sedan like the one that's in front of me. And it just kicks these rocks up on your windshield. And you're taking a big risk. It's just like, okay, yeah, it might be fine. Or you might have to go to the windshield repair guy in the King Soopers parking lot. But regardless, just give yourself some distance so that you don't have to do that. And that also gives you the space to, if you need to brake, you have the space to do so. Here, we're a little bit further south on Powers, And where are we? We just passed North Carefree and Powers going south. So the roads here, the lanes here do have a little bit more snow. The left and right lanes are more clear than the middle lane. Still keeping distance. There's a couple plow trucks in front of me, so they're working the roads now. Well, actually, these guys aren't doing anything. I don't know if are they done with their shift, or they just happen to have the big shovel on the front of their truck. Maybe that's all it is. Anyway, so I'm going to Big R right now, and the roads are fine enough to do that where my wife's not, feeling worried, so overly worried that I'm going to get into a car crash. She worries about that all the time, but I suppose that's a common thing when you're married, when you're with somebody. So I'm going to Big R to get some accessories for baby chicks. So we purchased some more baby chicks online, and they're so cute. I'm hoping that they know how to ship them. I was very concerned about buying livestock, essentially animals, online and having them shipped, especially now with this really cold weather. Like, we had asked for them to be shipped in March, and we just got the notification yesterday that, oh, they're shipping now. I'm like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna need a few things if we're gonna have these new baby chickens right now. So we have 4, so we bought 6, and then apparently you don't get to, it's just a questionable gender, so you might get a male, and if you get a male, you're not allowed to have males in cities, so we'll have to give if we have any males, we'll have to give them to somebody. So I just got to Big R, and I'm gonna get some accessories and get ready for these chickens that we might have, and if so, we'll document it. Just left Big R. Got some new bedding, the wood shavings, a new heat lamp, and some medicated starter feed. Oh, my first, the wheels spinning in the snow. That was actually my first time, just driving back. Oh yeah, this road's nasty. What is this, Constitution? I mean, it's drivable, it's just there's a lot of slush and snow. It's not even slush yet. We're not at the point of slush. It's still really bitterly cold out right now. Yeah, this is Constitution and Powers. Yeah, Constitution is not quite as taken care of. I mean, obviously Powers is the main street, so that's gonna get the most care, but even on Dublin was better than that. You should have seen the weather 2 days ago. Before all this, it was totally fine. We were in the 50s for, 40s for weather, and it was totally doable. Most of the snow had melted away from the previous snowstorm, and now here we go again. It was a nice, lovely, warm, sunny February until it wasn't. So I'm driving a little Honda Accord, and I don't know if it's front wheel or rear wheel drive, but I mean, regardless, my first car was a Saturn. It was a gold Saturn. It had a spoiler. I thought it was so cool. I drove that for 10 years, and I only got it in that one accident where I spun out and hit the median. It was a great car. But I've been able to get away with just having a regular sedan, no snow tires, no chains, nothing like that, and drive it in city just fine. If you're driving out of city, that's a different story. If you're up in Palmer Lake, or you go up into even, I would still show houses in Woodland Park and Cascade, and my little sedan would still be fine. It's only when you get to off-roading and the roads can get muddy, or they get steep with a lot of snow in them on the mountains, then yeah, you're gonna need something that has good traction. But otherwise, if you're driving in city on paved roads, it doesn't matter how much snow we get in the city will plow the roads and make them drivable. If not, we are in some dire apocalyptic situation. And your experience may differ. There might be part of the city that you live in where you're like, hey, they don't actually get to us for a couple of days. Like, we just have to sit in this and deal with whatever. And if so, let me know in the comments, because I'm sitting here in Central North, Colorado Springs, thinking that, hey, yeah, as soon as, the snow's done falling, the plow trucks are coming through regardless. As soon as there's snow, even with snow falling, they're still coming through. So the roads are never undrivable, except when you're immediately in the snowstorm situation. Plenty of cars out on the road right now. Nobody's having a problem with following the traffic rules. How sometimes if you've ever lived in snow, if enough snow accumulates on the ground, you can't see where the lines are anymore. And so typically what will happen is a 2-lane road will become a 1-lane road, a 3-lane road will become a 2-lane road, and you just kind of naturally take up more space, and rightfully so, because you want to give yourself that buffer. We're not experiencing that, at least not on the roads that I'm driving just to run some errands. So, and I'm on, Powers, I'm running a little errand in Powers Corridor and not having a problem with it. So that's a very, specific one part of the city. Again, your experience may differ, and if so, please let me know in the comments below, because I think that would be helpful to anybody that is thinking about living here. The sky is finally blue. It was overcast and cloudy all day yesterday and this morning, and now finally it's cleared up. It's not, bright and sunny out, but at least I can see blue sky. There's plenty of clouds, but I can still see blue. Alright, I just picked these little chickies up from the post office. And, yeah, I've never bought live animals from the mail before, but here they are making noises. The people we called the post office, and they said, yep, they're here. We can hear them chirping. So here they are. We'll see what they look like when we get home. Oh, it's the first poops. Who did those poops? Who pooped those poops?
Oh my, look at the baby chicken. Look at the little chicken. Oh. A cage almost to keep them. There you go. Scooch that one back in. Good job. Oh, good job, Miriam. So gentle.
It is a bright sunny day, just a few days after that crazy snowstorm we had in February. And if you'll look out the window, you can see how bright blue the sky is. The snow, I don't know if you can see the road so much, but the snow is mostly melted off of everything now. There's little pockets of snow in the shadows, and that's what we had in the January storm. But the interesting thing is that this snow stuck around a lot longer. I noticed that, and other people did too, where it used to be in years past that you'd get snow and 2 or 3 days later it'd be completely gone. And, I mean, that is technically what happened here, isn't it? But we had that snowstorm in January where everything just stuck around. We had just snow that stuck around. It's just patches and pockets of snow. And we don't typically have snow stick around for that long after a snowstorm. It's usually brief. So for it to stick around longer, I'm not sure what that means. I'm getting some headshots today, and I'm in Rock Rimmon, so we're gonna take a quick look and see. I mean, the roads are clear. It's been like a week since we had the big, huge blizzard. This is what it looks like in Rockrimmon right now, towards the end of February anyway. We've had the snowstorms and it's all melted, as usual. I just finished up some headshots with one of my photographers, and it's a bright sunny day and a high of I think 55 here in Colorado Springs. It's supposed to be windy today. I don't really think it has been that much. It was windy more yesterday, but as you might be able to see in the windows, the weather is clear, no clouds in the sky, sunny, and not, a few days, a week ago, we had a great big snowstorm and everything was frozen. Now the weather's fantastic. I mean, you could go and put your plants out right now. You could have baby chicks outside right now. It'd be no problem. So I'm expecting more cold and snowstorms coming, but for now, whee! I can do whatever I want. It's warm. I can go get a car wash. Maybe. Because if I get a car wash, I feel like that's just asking for another snowstorm to come up. And they will. And my car will get dirty again. And I'm gonna flick on the windshield wipers and clean all of the dust and dirt and whatever off of my windshield. And it's just gonna build back up again. My photographer, Deb, she's from Nebraska. She's like, yeah, it gets way worse there in the wintertime. She's like, this is nothing. I said, yeah, I'm from California, and although I was raised here, I got to go back to California to see some family every few years, and we'd have an obligatory day at Disneyland, of course, but then we'd have one day at the beach, and just to dig your toes into the sand and to see and feel the waves pull all the sand out from under your feet. Looks like you're moving. I just miss that so much. Maybe I need to secretly move back to California. I'll need a lot more money. Like, secretly, that's my passion. This is like, I don't actually like it here. I just like, and it's not even California. It's just, I want tropical weather. I don't care where it is. I just want to wake up next to a beach and have palm trees and to go and get a steak with avocado and some eggs and bacon and toast. That's the morning breakfast, and just do that every day. That's all I want to do. I've lived in Colorado Springs all my life, and maybe one day I will move to a tropical, warm place. But for now, this is my home. It's been my home. California never was my home. It's always been here in Colorado Springs. I did a crime in Colorado Springs video recently. I'll link to it. But the point of bringing this up was that the traffic, I can talk about the crime. Yeah, crime has increased since I grew up here in the 90s. Like, yeah, there's more stuff I hear about on the news. There's more people. That's just the way it is. But the traffic problems have increased too, and that should be a no duh, but it's also just something to be aware of in a larger city. There's often traffic accidents. Somebody hit somebody ran into a median, somebody T-boned somebody, and I just see it often enough now that I'm used to seeing an accident at least once every time I go out. And I have not seen an accident yet on the road today. But also, when I'm driving, I'm usually taking the main roads anyway. So like Woodman is a main east-west road, and I'm often using that to get to the interstate, or maybe to Powers, or maybe I'll take Dublin. But, so anyway, Woodman is busy enough that, yeah, you're likely going to see an accident somewhere on that road because there's enough people here. But you would think, like, today, no accidents, and that makes sense because there's no snow, there's no rain, there's no reason to have an accident. You'll still see them. I'm still waiting. keeping my eyes peeled because Woodman and Rangewood just seems to be that spot where if you're gonna have an accident, it's Woodman and Rangewood or it's Dublin and Academy, but those are very busy intersections. So yes, you're gonna see them. I'm turning down Dublin and Rangewood now. I don't see an accident. It's because I'm the accident. Huh. Nope, I'm good. I am not causing any problems. I'm just driving home. I get jealous, sure, when I see people like, hey, I'm, living in this warm spot right now. Woo! I'm on vacation. Or they went down to Texas or Florida and it just happens to be really warm down there. Meanwhile, we got a frozen tundra down here. And I'm like, I'm reevaluating. Is this really the place I want to spend the rest of my life? All things considered. And it's like, I'm very grateful that I do live here and it's a nice place. And yeah, lots of people, not lots of people, yeah, some people complain about homeless or crime or whatever, traffic, but it's not that bad. It's not LA. It could be a lot worse. It could be a lot bigger, and we could have gang issues. We don't have gang issues here. I've heard of gangs that are here, but they're not making a big enough thing to be in the news, so it's not anything that I worry about. I hope this was helpful in showing you what Colorado Springs is like in February. If it was, please click the like button, hit the subscribe button and the bell, and I will see you in the next one.